Okay, we have the car up on ramps, the wheels are chalked, and we're ready to begin flushing the engine. Afterwards, we'll perform a normal oil change using these products and a bottle of gum out in the gas tank. For the flush, I'm using the Motor Medic brand. A lot of guys use Marvel Mystery Oil as their flushing agent. And of course, you could use plain old kerosene, which is what mechanics used in the old days. This is what I do. If I'm adding a quart of flush to the engine, I remove roughly that much motor oil from the crankcase beforehand. Or you could pour your flushing agent straight into the engine without draining a quart. The directions don't specify which method is the best. Next, we'll add the flushing solvent. This will help dissolve any of the deposits that may be clogging up your engine. Cars that are well maintained and run on quality oil will have very little sludge deposits, whereas old cars not well maintained will have sludge buildup problems. You want your oil to be clean and sludge free to properly lubricate all the moving parts. Now we'll start up the engine and allow the solvent to work its way through the system. After 10 minutes of flushing, we can shut off the engine and fully drain the oil from the crankcase. While this is draining the rest of the way, we'll go inside and prepare for the next step. Let's go. Quickly, I'll make a gasket out of gasket making material. I'm using a pair of scissors to cut the outside circumference and a hole punch to knock out the center. Add the new gasket to the drain plug bolt. And tighten to specifications. The oil filter is located in front of the oil pan. Here's the drain plug bolt, and this is the oil filter. Looking down from above, the filter is below the air intake manifold, down here. Check the filter housing to make sure the old gasket isn't stuck to the surface, and we're ready to install the new filter. First, lubricate the gasket so that it seals properly with the mating surface. Then add some oil before installing it. Now we're ready to pour the oil. The manual suggests 5W30 for this Pontiac Vibe, and that's what I'll be using. On the side of the container, this bottle has a vertical window that tells you how much oil you've poured into the engine. The manual says we need to pour 4.4 quarts when doing an oil and filter change. To get an accurate reading on your dipstick, you'll need to run the engine for a few seconds before shutting it off again. Clean off your dipstick and recheck the level. The oil should be somewhere within the hatch marks, as ours is, preferably at the top if you're on perfectly level ground. We'll twist the cap back on and we're finished. GM does not suggest flushing the motor oil at any mileage interval. You should not have to flush the oil at all unless, they say, you've neglected oil changes in the past. But at 100,000 miles, it might be a good practice to be on the safe side.